Hey, Facebook fam. Hey, Facebook fam. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Is this Shuga Shootin' the Breeze? Is this Shuga Shootin' the Breeze? Ram, y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. Shuga Shootin' the Breeze this morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. What time is it, y'all? It's 10:45. It's 10:45. What day is it? It's July the 13th. Monday. Monday, July the 13th. That's what day it is. Shuga Shootin' the Breeze. Random out here in these social media streets. Out here in these social media streets. Seeing who gonna roll up and shoot the breeze with Shuga. And if you can't stay long, just say, hey, Shuga. That's all. Just say, hey, Shuga. That's all. If you can't stay long. Yeah. Just on here like I normally do. Got my morning routine getting it going. Getting it going, y'all. I got up, as a matter of fact, I woke up like it was about 7. Because I got to bed a little earlier than usual. I went on and laid down. My body said, okay, go on, get in there. Went and got in. Might have been about 12. 11:30, 12 o'clock. Because I had my reflection about 10:30. Scrolled a little bit more on Facebook. And then after that, my body said, go on, lay it down. What you doing? Go on, get in the bed. You don't need to stay up after this point. Just go on and get it in. So I woke up by 7. Then my eyes got a little heavy. Then I managed to say, okay, let me get on up. Got on up by 8:30. Yeah, I got up by 8:30 today. But in the meantime, yeah, I got to sing. Got to sing my theme song, y'all. Got to sing my theme song. Got to sing my theme song. 1, 2. Shuga Shootin' the Breeze, y'all. 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 Random when it hits me, I run with it. Random when it hits me, I run with it. Shuga Shootin' the Breeze. That's my theme song, y'all. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you like my theme song, Shuga Shootin' the Breeze. In these social media streets. Yeah. I said, I'm going to get on here. Get on here between 11 and 12 is usually when I get in there. And come on live. And so, yeah, I had to get my little song on out the way. Had to get my song out the way. And we ain't got no birthdays today, y'all. But it don't matter if none of my friends have a birthday. It don't matter. Somebody got a birthday today. Somebody do. Somebody got a birthday today. So, I got a song for that too. I came up with my own little catchy happy birthday song for anybody who ain't had nobody sing that birthday song to them. I got one special for you. I got one special for you. Hey, cuz. Hey, lovey. Hey, cuz. I'm on the East Coast, on the West Coast. Pardon me. I'm on the East. You on the West. Yeah. Hope your morning is off to a good start. Hope your morning is off to a good start. Yeah, I'm up Shuga Shootin' the Breeze this morning. Yes. And the birthdays, I don't have anybody today. But it's somebody's birthday today. It's somebody's birthday today. And so, you have to come up with something to make people feel a little special for those that celebrate. Do a little something special for them. Have to do a little something special. You sing happy birthday to them, a gift, shout them out some kind of way for those that celebrate, because everybody don't. But for those that do, So I got a song. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday birthday to you, and you wish many, many more. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And you wish many, many more. And you wish many, many more. And you wish many, many more. Happy birthday to the people out there celebrating the birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have many more to enjoy. You know, back in the day we used to play happy birthday and you spank how many days, years you had, then they spank you. One to grow on. If you're 20, 10, all up to 10 and then. It's a little fun game. Playing with somebody who having a birthday. So yeah. So I gotta get over here and wash these dishes. Yep. Gotta wash my dishes. And after I wash my dishes, then I'm gonna eat my breakfast, because I don't eat early. You know, even when I wake up, you know, some people like to eat early, but I'm not an early bird when it comes to breakfast. Give myself a chance to build up a little bit of a hunger. And I have my cereal. I like cereal. I don't particularly have a big breakfast. Grew up on big breakfasts, but I don't do them no more. Not too big. It's on occasions. On occasion. So, but yeah. So you come from a singing family, Lovey? You come from a singing family, honey? We got gifts, don't we? We got gifts. We got gifts. The Tatum side. We got gifts. The musical gifts. We got them. Got the musical gifts, Lovey. We got it. We sure enough do. And I have it on both sides. Tatum and Sap. Both sides of the family. So, we got it, honestly. The musical gifts, girl. We got it, honestly. I don't need but a little bit of water because I ain't got but a few dishes. And I just put just a dab of Clorox. Just a drop. It don't take much. Because the thing is, it helps to keep my water, help my water get sanitized from my dishes and stuff. Kill off germs. That's what it do. Yep, that's what it do. That's my cousin, y'all. That's my cousin. That's my cousin on the West Coast. That's my cousin Lovey. That's my cousin Lovey, y'all. Got a chance to physically, officially meet her via social media, because she's my first cousin, her mom, and she's the daughter of one of my first cousins. She has since passed, you know. She lost her early on, and we offer our condolences, and she's continuing to, you know, trying to deal with the process of losing the loved one. It's not an easy journey to take, but so we keep you lifted in prayer, and praying that you continue to get through as much as you know how. So yeah, but I got some topics that I wanted to shoot the breeze on. Yesterday we was going over something old. One of my topics that I like to talk about is something old that I got. Something old versus something new. Something old that people have since possibly thrown away or discarded. So I like to talk about something old. And then I got other topics that I'll be discussing. I like to shout out entrepreneurs on my page, friends, because the majority of you in business for yourself. The majority is doing something as entrepreneurs, self-employed, whatever it may be, whatever your profession is. You know, I said I'm gonna go down the list at my lives and shout some folks out. And if you're on here, you can even put yours in the comment. You can put yours in there. You know, I don't mind. Post what you do. If you watch, and post it right on in the comment section. Because, you know, it's important. It's important for you to be able to get to support people when they're trying to make a difference in their community through their gifts and talents. So, yeah, put it down in the comment section. Let folks know what your gifts are, what your business is. You know, I tell your business. I think this is good. This is good business to tell. It's one that you won't be told. Everybody, you know, they say they don't want the business told, and I don't tell folks business. But when it comes to the professional side of business, yeah, you can tell that business. You can shout folks out what they do and how they want to make their contributions, serving their community with gifts, different gifts, talents, service, products, whatever it may be. You know, whether it's e-commerce or brick and mortar business, where you're located and that kind of stuff, and what you can offer in your local community, or if you're able to ship products, e-commerce, then that's even better. But yeah, so many professions, so many people that got professions and got businesses. The small businessman, you know, the small businessman truly needs the shout outs, needs the support, especially when what they got is worth telling folks about. They get good reviews. They provide good customer service. Yeah, so that's part of my segment, to be able to shout folks out. So if you want to put your business down in the comment section, put it down there. Put it down there. You know, Facebook allows for you to do lives. It's there for 30 days. You have the ability to download them if you want to and repost them at a later date, however you choose to do it. And any other platform that you have available to you. But yeah. Those are the things that I like to do. Talk about something old. Shoot the breeze. Talk about some entrepreneur and his business, her business, whatever profession it is. You know, I got a lot of authors, singers, hairstylists. There's a lot of people on my page that I'll be putting their business out here on social media, on Shuga's Live. I'll be shooting the breeze about it. I'll tell the business. I help tell it, help spread it, help tell it. Yeah. So I'm going to go get my Cheerios because that's my breakfast this morning. I normally, it's 10:58 now, so I'm pretty much on schedule with eating my breakfast. So let me get that. I'll be right back. I got my Cheerios. Them the Cheerios. That's what I like. I like my nuts too. And don't forget, can't forget my almond breeze because I don't do dairy. Come out with my little mug, my little cup. It was a mug. The handle broke off of it, but you know, it still worked. It's Paris. You know, that's the Paris sign. The Eiffel Tower. I went there when I was in the military and stationed in Germany. Got a chance to travel to Paris. I made it to that floor right there. That's as far as I got. To that floor right there. Up there? No. I made it to that floor. That's as far as I got. Took pictures. That was it. I wasn't about to walk up because even I don't think they had the whatever elevator, whatever they used to take it up. I don't think it was, for some reason it wasn't working. It was like, you need to walk up. I'm not walking up that. So I was on that first floor Took what pictures I was gonna take. Done deal. That was done. A done deal. So see how much Cheerios I got left. That's it. That's about 1 serving, 2 servings. 1, 2. So I'm gonna have to go on back to the grocery store and get me some more, along with my grapes, because my grapes is down to the last 10. I managed to salvage what I was gonna salvage. There's only a couple of the grapes that had started to turn, almost became got mushed up or started to dry out, but I use them. I definitely use them. I use them in my cereal. Let's see what I got here. Okay, that's good. Now that'll be 1 serving left for tomorrow, so I'm going to the grocery store today. I'm going today. And I'm gonna got my list set as to what I need to get. Got my list set up what I need to get. About a half cup. That's it. About a half cup of my almond milk. Let me take this off. That's it. About a half a cup. And then I got my grapes and my nuts. I do walnuts. I do almonds too. But that's on the list. So they say you're supposed to do about a cup, about a 1/4 of a cup of nuts. That's what a serving of nuts is. You eat walnuts. You eat walnuts if you're not allergic to nuts. I like walnuts. They're a good source of fats. You know. Good source of fat. That's what they say a cup is. Sometimes I go over. Sometimes I do, because I like them. Almonds, I like them too. And then my grapes. My grapes. Got a few grapes left. I usually put about 6 or 7 grapes in my, let's see what we got. Yeah. About 6 or 7 grapes. Rinse them off. Put them in your cereal, because I use the unsweetened Cheerios, not the honey nut. So I use grapes as my alternative for sugar. For sugar. This is my alternative. Add a little sweet juice pop in there. The sweetness. And this will be for tomorrow, but I have to go to the store today and replace my grapes. Yeah, I have to go today and replace them. Because I like them. I like them. And you know, grapes can get expensive. Grapes can get expensive. I mean, for a pound, sometimes, depending on the type of grape, they can get expensive. They can run anywhere from $3, $4, $5 a pound for some grapes. So depending on the type you're getting, the brand or whatever, 2 pounds of grapes might run you about $10, depending on what type you're getting. So, yeah. I tell you what I start doing, because I don't need 2 pounds. And depending on the type of grape that I want, if I just want 1 pound, you know, I know they got it closed up. They close up the grapes, but you don't have to. You try and see which one closest to how many grapes you want. But if you have to take some out, you know, I've taken some out and put them in another bag, and then get the amount that I want if they're already pre-bagged. If the grapes are already pre-bagged, I would take some out, put them in the other bag, so I can get the amount that I want, that I can afford. If I only want a pound of grapes, then I try and, take something out and divide it up and go and weigh it. And then that lets me know that, yeah. Because like I say, grapes can get expensive. They get real expensive. They good though. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Good morning. Shuga Shootin the Breeze. Glad you stopped by. Glad you stopped by to see me. How you doing today? How you doing today? I'm up getting ready to eat my cereal. Yeah. Yep. That's it right there. That's good to me. That is good to me. But yeah, talking about trying to go to the grocery store. We're going to the grocery store later on. Got a couple of things I got to get. I'm running out of my grapes and my Cheerios. And then I think I'm going to get me some almonds. And then whatever I'm going to cook for today, we're going to have, we're having burgers today. I'm going to make some hamburgers. We had, what we had? We had a turkey or ham salad with eggs. We made a chef salad yesterday. And so today we're going to have some hamburgers. Hamburgers and french fries. And then I think I might get maybe a little, I don't know, a little coleslaw on the side. Maybe a little potato salad. But make some hamburgers and fries today. What y'all having? What y'all having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I don't really do lunch. But what y'all having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What you have? Put it in the comment section. Yeah. But yeah, with my grapes, if you didn't know, I was sharing how I use them in my peanut butter sandwich. Because one time I didn't have no grape jelly, and we was raised on that. So I got the idea. I said, well, I got some grapes. Grapes make jelly. Let me just use the grapes. Put peanut butter on one side of a bread. I only wanted one slice of bread. Put peanut butter on it, and then put about 6, 7, 8 grapes off in there. Yeah. It's a surprise. It pops in your mouth, the juice, and the mix with the peanut butter. It's a different type of experience for your taste buds. Grapes on your peanut butter sandwich versus the actual jelly or jam. Grapes, honey. Try it, y'all. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Try the grape on your peanut butter sandwich. It don't matter what type of grapes. These are the purple grapes that I have. But you could do the green or the red grapes. It don't matter, whatever your preference is. But try it. Try it on your peanut butter sandwich instead of jelly or jam. And tell me what you think. Because it's good. It's good. It is really good. So, what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to talk about nicknames. Now, mine is Shuga. But I come from a family of nicknames. We grew up with them. From our parents, my uncles, aunties, on both sides. And they, in turn, gave their kids nicknames. You know, not all of us, But they passed down that little tradition of giving nicknames. Do y'all have nicknames? Did you have nicknames that you were given as a child? And do people still call you by your nickname? Or do you allow them to call you by the nickname? Because some people don't like to share their nickname, you know. And if somebody call them by the nickname, it's like, wait a minute, who are you? You must know me. Because don't nobody know me by my nickname other than family and friends or people that you grew up with. So if you call them folks by the nickname, they're like, wait, where you from? Because if you didn't share your nickname with nobody, it's like, how you know? How you know that's my nickname? A lot of people kept their nicknames quiet, secret. They didn't let nobody know what their nicknames were. Some of them didn't care for their nicknames, so they was like, ain't nobody gonna call me that no more. Ain't nobody gonna call me that no more. But, you know, Sugar, that was my nickname. That was my nickname because I like to eat my preserves first as a baby. My dessert first. My baby Gerber food. My mama said I wanted to eat it first. I eat everything else, but I wanted to eat it first. So what's nicknames that you all had, if you had them? I got a list. I'm going to go down and share nicknames from my family. Because we had nicknames. And I know Michelle, I'm sure you probably know some of my family, maybe some of their nicknames as well. I'm sure because we was raised down there. So you've come across plenty of my family. Me and Lovey, because me and Lovey's second cousin, but her mom and me are first cousins. So I'm the Tatum side. But I know you probably are aware of some of my family and their nicknames. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's you know, just a term of endearment. You're usually named after something that you did, associated with. Most of the time, they associated your nickname with something you did. Parents might have gave it to you. Other family members might have gave you a nickname that, you know, a way to connect with you in some way or another, but especially naming you based off of something personal to you that they were able to point out. And so for me, Sugar came from me liking to eat my baby food preserved first. Then I eat the carrots, pureed carrots and everything else, but she had to put a spoon of that preserve in my mouth to go with it. Hence, Sugar. And then I'm sweet too, you know. I'm sweet too. Yep. And I grew up, my siblings have nicknames. My mom and dad they got nicknames too. My brothers and my sister. All four of us, y'all. All four of us got nicknames. So it was common. It's common for you to have a nickname. Family give you a nickname. Mom, dad, auntie, uncle, cousin. Because it's a way to connect with you. Now some nicknames aren't so nice. And you know, some people have done that too. But in our family, for the most part, the nicknames was fun. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Mine, Sugar. My brother, he called him Mess. I have to ask my mom how she come up with the name Mess for my brother, my one right underneath me. Then my second to the youngest brother, called him Devil. I don't know why she came up with that. I have to ask her and get back to you on how she came up with the name Devil for my younger brother and the baby boy. And then my sister, Sweet. So Sugar, Mess, Devil, and Sweet. Those were our nicknames that we grew up with. We grew up with those nicknames. Family knowing us. Both sides, the Saps and Tatum side, knew us with those nicknames. And then at some point, all of our cousins that had nicknames, those names we learned when they were kids. We learned them when they were kids. My aunts and uncles on both sides, for those that had nicknames, we knew them by their nickname. We didn't really know them by their real name until, especially my aunts and uncles, it was much older before I realized what their real names were. We were calling them by the nickname that that had been associated with them from the time they were named that. And cousins too. I tell you, it took going to school, going to middle school and high school, and being in class with some of my cousins to find out what their real name was. And it was a shocker to me because all my life I had known them for their nickname. And that's all I ever knew. Never knew their real name. Never, questioned it. Never questioned it. So by the time we got to school, sitting in the same room, the teacher called their name. It was strange to me. It was strange to hear the teacher call my cousin's name, who I had been calling them by their nickname since I got here as a kid growing up. And then to hear the teacher calling them by their real name. And at first it was almost comical because whenever we learned each other's real name, we thought it was kind of funny because we knew nickname. That was it. That's all we knew. We knew the nickname. That's what we knew. And so, yeah, I'll go down the list of some of it. I'll go down the list. Let you hear what some of them nicknames are. Yeah, that's good, y'all. I get a little bit of that walnut on there. Get that on there. Get a little bit of that walnut on there. So what's a common nickname that y'all grew up hearing folks have? What's the common nickname you grew up hearing folks have? What's the common one? Put in the comment section. What's a common nickname? I gotta eat my cereal because I don't want it to get too soft. I don't want it to get too soft, y'all. Yep. I'm gonna go down the list. On my mom's side and my dad's side. Some are common, some are so common that other families shared the names too. Named theirs that nickname. My last 3-4 Cheerios. My last 3-4 Cheerios. Yep. I certainly appreciate y'all being on my live. Send the spell with sugar. I appreciate you being on here. See me talking about stuff that I like to talk about. Anything that you want to join in on, put it in the comment section. We'll shoot the breeze back and forth. We'll shoot the breeze back and forth. But yeah, let me tell you some of the names that we grew up with on my hold up, y'all. I need to put these on. These are my readers. Cause sometimes them words get a little fuzzy. So I need to put a little something on so they can get them up. Give more clarity. So my mom's side I had the most nicknames. On the sap side, it's my aunt TT. Found out her real name was Minnie. Now, of course, I've known this since I became an adult. I've known their real names early on. By the time I was in high school, then we started to learn more about their real names, but you still call them by their nicknames. But Aunt TT is Minnie. That's her real name. And had Aunt Sister. Aunt Sister, that's what we call her, Aunt Sister. They call her Sister, but we, as her niece, being the niece, we call her Aunt Sister. And her real name is Katie Mae. This on the sap side of my family. Then we got Aunt Rabbit. Now, I don't know the reasons why most of them are named what they were named, but my Aunt Rabbit, from what my mom says, because she was fast. She could run. I mean, she could run real fast. So they gave her the name Aunt Rabbit. They gave her that nickname. Her real name is Inez, but they said she can kick up some dust. She kicks up dust when she can run. I mean, fast and furious. hit it down that dirt road. Hit it. So that's my Aunt Rabbit. And then we had my Aunt Lady. My Aunt Lady, I don't know why they named her Aunt Lady, but that's what we called her, Aunt Lady. Yep, another singer. Yeah, they could sing. On my mom's side too, they could sing. Aunt Lady, her real name is Lily. Her real name is Lily. Then my mom, I don't think she really had a nickname, but they kind of gave their own. They put their own spin on her real name, Shirley. They call her Shelly. That's what I grew up hearing them, how they pronounce my mom's name, Shelly. Then my Aunt Mushy. My Aunt Mushy, her real name is Margaret. But now my mom said she got her nickname Aunt Mushy because she liked rice. She liked rice, and then she would mash it up. So she ended up mashing it up in her hair. She eat it, and she ended up mashing it up in her hair. Now, that's what my mom said. So that's how she was coined the nickname Mushy. And so I call her Aunt Mushy. That's what we grew up calling her. But her real name is Margaret. Then I have my Aunt Skeet. My Aunt Skeet. Not sure why they named her Skeet. But her real name is Eloise. Eloise. Then I have my Uncle Pop. These are my mother's brothers. Uncle Pop. Don't know why his name is called why they named him Uncle Pop, but his real name is Robert. Robert. Yep, after my granddaddy. After his dad. So Robert. Then I have my Uncle Bone. Uncle Bone. Yep, Uncle Bone. His name, Lawrence. Real name, Lawrence. And then, my Uncle Frank. My Uncle Frank. We call him Uncle Frank. That's his middle. Real name, Walter. But we call him Uncle Frank. Yep, my auntie, his wife, Aunt Pee-wee. Yep, Melissa, didn't know what her real name was, For a long time, I just knew her as Pee-wee. But Auntie Melissa. And, just nicknames, just terms of endearment, what they associate with, how they're able to remember you if they don't even know your real name. They use it. Then on my dad's side, they didn't have very many nicknames, but the nicknames, the ones that had nicknames, I have it listed. My dad, they call him Lordy or Tate, short for Tatum. My last name Tatum. So Tate or Lordy. And then my cousin would call him Uncle Lordy, Uncle Lordy. Tate was mainly, I think what his friends called him, hey Tate, how you doing, Tate? Yeah, short for Tatum. And then his sisters, he had a set of twin sisters. He got a set of twin sisters, Aunt Biddy, and they fraternal twins, Aunt Biddy and Aunt Bross. Aunt Biddy's name Inez. Aunt Bross, Naomi. But Aunt Biddy and Aunt Bross, one tall, one short. Yeah. And then we got the remainder of my uncles and aunties. My Aunt Bessie. Yeah. I didn't have they never knew a nickname for her, but Aunt Bessie or Bessie K, that's what we call her. And then my Aunt Irene, she was the older of the siblings out of the Tatums. There was 14 of them that made it to adulthood, because my grandmother had 17, but 14 of them I got a chance to interact with in some fashion or another. So Aunt Irene. Then we got Uncle Cliff, real name Clifford, that was his real name. Uncle Hubert, which is Lovey's grandfather. Uncle Hubert. I met him twice. By them living where they live, so they get to the East Coast. They got to the East Coast, and in the time that he was able to come, then I was able to at least meet him twice. Uncle Hubert. Then Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie lived here in Georgia. Lived here in Georgia. Didn't have a nickname for him. Now, he may have had a nickname that others may have called him, but I just knew him as Uncle Charlie. He, to me, tend to take on the look more like my dad, because they were more brown skin in color. My grandma had an array of colors in her sons and daughters, from the lightest to the darkest. She was like, I want my babies to have some color. So she said she found her a chocolate man. She wanted her a chocolate man so her babies can have some color, because she was fair skinned. Yeah. She said, I want my babies to have some color. And they came here with some color. And she said, she wanted to have a lot of children. This Grandma Rose. She wanted a lot of kids. And so she said, she prayed and asked God, I want a lot. And I want the majority of them. I want more male babies. I want girl babies. Give me a lot of male babies. And sure enough, God blessed her. She was fruitful. And she multiplied. Then we got Uncle Roma. And he was out of Florida. Now, he looked more like Uncle Hubert and Uncle Alzell. Now, Uncle Alzell, he has a nickname. Call him Zeke. Uncle Zeke. Alzell, Uncle Zeke. That's, it was his nickname. Uncle Roy, which that's his middle name. Willie is his first name. Willie is his first name. Then we got Uncle Mike. And you would know him as Uncle Mike Johnny Tatum, born, down in Bainbridge, Filestown. He get on that piano. He was a hell of he played that piano and sang. He can make them keys talk. And them vocals came out strong, had the churches rocking all over the South. They knew him. They knew him because that's what he loved, singing. That's what he loved. Then we got Uncle Arthur Lee. Don't recall a nickname for him, but Uncle Lee, we would say Uncle Lee. We wouldn't do the whole name. We would just say, hey, Uncle Lee. Yeah. Then we had Uncle Spud. Now, he had a nickname. Uncle Spud, And then and I think they called him Spike. We never called him Spike. I think that was, the grown folks called him Spike. But we called him Uncle Spud. His name was Ernest. Yeah. And out of those, all of those, we had kids. And, our side, the Tatum side, had about 80-something grands. We're looking at close to 100-something great grands. But I'm part of the first cousin crew out of those 14. And nicknames throughout that, too. We, like I said, some of them named their children nicknames and some of them didn't. But I grew up with some of them with nicknames. And, of course, as well as the Sap side, with my grandmother Carrie Sap. Yeah, some of that side had nicknames as well, first cousins that I grew up with. So, like I said, didn't know their real names, some of them, until I got old enough to go to school and be in class with them. Yeah. Some of their nicknames, and I ain't gonna give their first names because they may not want to know, but I'm certainly gonna share some of the nicknames that I was raised calling some of my cousins. Sandy P. Sandy P. Tootsie. Tootsie. And then we had Jug. Now these are siblings. Sandy P, Tootsie, Jug, they siblings. And then we got Jelly. That's another one of my cousins. Yeah, call him Jelly. Then another cousin, Nat. Can't even really try to figure out how to spell it. Nat. N-A-N-T maybe? Nat. They call him Nat. Yeah. Then we got Bean. Cousin Bean. Yep. And we got cousin Step. Now that's short for her real name, but we call her Step. Now this is on my mom's side. Then we got Mom. One of my cousins, they call her Mom. Yeah, they call her Mom. That's what we called her. That was the name they gave her. Then we got Tweety. This back on my daddy's side. Tweety, first cousin. Yeah. We got Noot. That's the first cousin on my mom's side. Yeah. Now, Noot say he ain't been called Noot no more. Don't be calling him that. Don't be calling me no Noot. What's that? What is it? Who came up with Noot? Who came up with that? How you spell it? That's what he say. And Tootie. Yep, that's on my mom's side. One of her sisters, daughter's first cousin on my mom's side. Tootie. This is just a few of them. Just a few of the names that I grew up with. Nicknames, cousins, calling them before I learned what their real names were. And it was fun, just the way they say your name, the way they say it. Because it just make you feel special. It make you feel good. It make you, it did. It was a way to connect. It was a connection. So if you had nicknames, know folks with nicknames that you I'm sure you could relate. When you call somebody nickname, you can relate the reaction you get from them. Because anytime somebody call me Sugar, it's like, oh yeah, I'm Sugar, hey. Yep. Hey, I'm Sugar, hey, how you doing? Hey, Sugar. Yeah, it's a different, you just melt. It's like you truly do, especially when it's coming from your family that has known you for your nickname. You melt around it. It's it's connecting. It's a way to connect. Yep. So them nicknames, they were valuable. Ones, like I said, the ones that end up being not so fun and picking at folks, that's different. But yeah, we got Miss Beasley. That she would know who I'm talking about when you say it. Miss Beasley. Yep. First cousin on my dad's side. List of us. Like I said, we big family. Was raised with a big family on both sides. So, them nicknames, honey. Them nicknames. When we see each other, we cut up. And it comes right back out. The minute we see each other, we get back calling us by them nicknames. Yep. It's just a beautiful connection. It really is. Even after knowing their real names, it's a beautiful connection when you still able to call them by their nicknames when you see them. Yeah. Unfortunately, some of my father, his siblings, we're down to 3. We have 3 of our aunts left on my dad's side. The rest of them have gone on to glory. They've gone on, but 3 of them are still with us. My Aunt Bessie, my Aunt Bross and Aunt Biddy. Yep. They in their 70s. And then on my mom's side, there are we have 1, 2 that have passed, and we still have it was 10 of them. My dad, it was 14. It was 10 on my mom's side. So, to my aunt TT and my aunt Lady has since gone on to glory. And so, yeah. But the rest of them remain. They're still with us. They still answering to their nicknames that we we call them by. Whoever shows up, calling them by their nickname. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeedy. So, I always love that. I always love being able to go and interact with them. Just to say, call them by their nickname. What I grew up calling them. That's right. That's right. That's right. So, but yeah. And yesterday I had something old that I was sharing. The something old that I was sharing was cassette tapes. Cassette tapes. I got over 50 to 70, 75 cassette tapes of music that I liked throughout the years, from the 80s all the way up until I wasn't no longer buying cassette tapes, because once we went to CDs, then that kind of took the place of cassette tapes and phased them out, and then on into what we call this digital realm today, digital world. But I managed to hold on to cassette tapes that I enjoyed. I did. And of course, my favorite singer, if you know my favorite singer, what's my favorite singer? If you know my favorite singer, put it in the comment section. Put it down there. Because, yeah, I was her. I was my favorite singer when I was in school, because we had what we call the shindig, where we sung. And Michelle know it was a competition. Where we sung in the shindig, and you performed whatever your gifts are that you wanted to. And as long as Miss Love said, okay, you made the cut, you could perform. Well, I sung. And first, I wanted to do Janet Jackson, but somebody else was already singing it. And she was like, well, maybe you should, you got a nice sound. And that was after I came with my music in hand to sing Janet, Let's Wait a While. But I got there to the gym and was waiting. And everybody's singing, get up to sing and showcase what you're going to be doing. And somebody already had started singing it. It was actually one of their songs, two girls. And she was like, I got up probably about a song audition later and did Janet. And she's like, well, unfortunately, Janet is already taken. That song is already taken. But you have a very nice sound. And she said, well, maybe you can get with them. Maybe you can sing with them in the group. And, I was hesitant, but I said, well, okay. That was because that was my first time really actually performing, singing in front of anybody to that degree, other than in church and the choir. We were young. I think I started in the choir when I was about 13, 14. And so shortly after that, that I actually try it out for the shindig and establish that, okay, this is something that Miss Love is doing in the community, gathering, young talent, school age, and even in other towns, people will come and perform in the shindig. But mainly, it was right there in Bainbridge, out of Pugglesford Town, whoever in that area, Decatur County area, yeah, they would come and she would, audition them, and you would get a chance to perform if she selected you. And so I was going to try and sing with the girls, and then went to audition and went to practice with them, and then I was like, well, I think I just want to do my own. I'll find another song to sing, because they had their style, they had what they wanted. Janet, I couldn't sing Janet, and so trying to think what song. The first song that I actually did, I believe, was what was it? It was Caught Up in the Rapture. That was the first song. Yeah, that was the first song I did of Anita Baker, because I heard one of the other ladies performing it. I heard one of the other ladies who was a guest performer in the shindig perform Angel from Anita Baker. And so I loved her from that moment. When I heard the young lady come in and sing it as a guest singer, that's when I fell in love with Anita Baker, and selected her song as the song I would be patterning myself, use as to perform and compete with. And so, yeah, I didn't win the first time, but the second time I came back the next year to audition again for the shindig again, and then I said, okay, I think I'll switch it up. I thought maybe, okay, let me try Whitney, and I could sing Whitney. I did pretty good, but she said, no, Miss Love said, I think you need to stick with Anita, because y'all got a little bit of a pattern. You kind of got a nice sultry sound. You kind of got a nice sultry sound. I like you singing Anita. I like that. So the next time, yeah, I sung Anita, No One in the World. And yeah. And Anita had her movements. She had her performance, and her stage presence was like, it was different. It was different. Y'all know Anita. She was different, and even her vocals was different, and her words and how she sung them. Some people might have said they wasn't quite able to understand her, but once you listen to her, and once you was able to get a hold of her lyrics, because that's what I did too. One of my friends' mom had Anita cassette, and I got a hold of it and was rewinding, trying to get that song down, get it down, and managed to get it down. But she had her own sound, Anita had her own sound, and I fell in love with her. I fell in love with her sound, and I just knew I was Anita Baker. It was like my name, Elisa Tatum, but Anita Baker, I knew I was Anita. I knew I was, and just all my life I've listened to everything that she's put out, supported her music and everything that she put out. Growing up at that time, I was young, so I wasn't able to really buy anything. I couldn't really afford much. My daddy, like I had told y'all in the previous live, that how my daddy said, you ain't getting much as far as a allowance. It was 35 cents a day, and I had to figure out how to flip that 35 cents, because 35 cents a day, even back in the 80s, it wasn't a lot. So I wasn't buying music. What we were doing? We was recording music off the radio, recording it from the radio with our cassette players. That's what we did. We recorded it from the radio, and then stop it just shy of the song ending, because you was trying not to get the DJ in there, who was the host of the station, trying not to get him in. But we was recording off of the radio, because we didn't have no money to really go buy any music. A lot of young folks, they, some of them did, and they had bigger allowances, but we had 35 cents a day, 5 days a week. Monday through Friday. We weren't really about to know with that. What know you can do with that. So I ended up recording from the radio. And then once I got old enough, 18, then, and went into the military, then I say, okay, I got a little change. Now I can start, purchasing some of the artists that I enjoy, supporting their music, their musical career. And yeah, all Anita's stuff I could find, I was buying it. And then, of course, going into the military, ended up in Germany. The one thing that I have yet to have done, and that is seen her in concert. And it's a doggone shame, because I ain't got nobody to blame but myself, not being able to see her in concert, And hopefully at this stage of the game, if she gets to do something else, I am going to make it my business. Wherever she set up to perform, I'm going to see Nita. I'm going to see her perform. But in the meantime, I supported her in her career from cassette tapes to CDs. I supported Nita. Bought everything that she had. Now the cassette tapes, and some of them ended up being ruined, but I managed to salvage some that I could keep. Now playing them in a cassette player, nah, they ain't gonna be able to play in the cassette player. It'll eat them up. They get ate up in the cassette player. Just chew up the tape, and you pull it out, and it's like, oh God, I gotta fix it. I'm gonna have to be able to fix it. How I'm gonna fix it? You put a little tape on both sides, put it together, and you gotta make sure you got it right, taped on both sides, because you don't want it flip. Once you wind it back up, whatever you use, we would use to wind it back up, and making sure it was wind up properly, and then put them two pieces together with some tape. But we was like MacGyver, trying to salvage, because it's like, you ain't got nobody to be buying nothing. You ain't got nobody to be buying nothing. So this is what I bought. That's Anita, the songstress. Now she was in another group prior to this, but Anita Baker, the songstress, y'all. This one got Angel on it. You're the best thing yet. You're the best thing yet to ever come into my life. That's Nita. Yeah, that's Nita, y'all. Let's do it. That's her. That's my girl. All that, cassette. Like I said, it ain't gonna play. I ain't gonna even risk it, because I ain't gonna risk it. I got a cassette player, but I'm not gonna risk it. Y'all got any cassettes? Y'all got some old? Y'all got some old cassettes? What you got? This is another one that I was able to salvage. That one. Compositions. Now this one was my favorite song off of here was Fairy Tales. Fairy Tales on here on composition. That was my favorite. As a matter of fact, I bought two of these. I bought two compositions because I was like, I ain't taking no chances. I really love that. The whole cassette, and her whole musical journey. She produced some quality music. Quality music. Anita Baker, y'all. And I don't know what happened to my cassette with this one. Rhythm of Love. I got it in cassette, but I also have it in CD now. The jacket, you like to read the jacket because it had so much telling the story. You read it, and then it had the lyrics in it too. For those that had the budget for the lyrics, they put it inside. So yeah, Anita Baker. Anita Baker. I think Sweet Love. I would have to say Sweet Love is my all-time favorite Anita Baker song. Out of all of the songs that I love, and I love all of them, I love all of them, but Sweet Love grabbed me. It really grabbed me, and to this very day, you know, every time I play it, you know, every time I play Sweet Love, it's the words and the lyrics, and it's telling and talking about the love, with all the heart, with all the heart. Yes, you can tell. I'm a sucker for love stories. I like the love. I like the love side of life, you know, relationships and people, seeing people, you know, in love, singing about love. And, you know, most of it is stories that either they've lived or somebody else has lived. But the love songs, yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm a sucker for love songs. I'm a sucker for love songs, y'all. You know, I've written a couple of them myself. Yep, I'm a sucker for love songs. And I'm gonna show you another artist that I really fell in love with. Regina Belle. Regina Belle, honey. Regina, all by myself. That's Regina, y'all. That's her. Yep. Show Me the Way. Her vocals, dynamic. That's the cassette. That's the cassette. They got the tape. They got the tape. It's intact. Regina Belle, All by Myself. Regina Belle, that was the name of hers. Show Me the Way. So Many Tears. Gotta give it up. Yeah. Regina. Now, how many of you remember when we used to buy what we consider today the single? The single, it was like two songs on here. This is Baby Come to Me, because that was the one that I think grabbed everybody from her Stay With Me. It was from that. You know, they would do the cassette singles, and you could buy because they were like 99 cents, you know, depending on who you're buying. You could buy the single. Now, this one had two songs on it. It said Baby Come to Me and This Is Love. But come in the jacket like that. Regina Belle, y'all. Regina's still touring. I got a chance to see her. I got to see her in concert because I was invited to sing at a function, and she actually performed there. So I got a chance to see her perform. But yeah, Baby Come to Me. And that's her Stay With Me. That's her Stay With Me. The cassette. And then Passion. That's her. Yep. This is the one with If I Could. If I Could. That one. Yep. I protect you from the sadness in your eyes. That one. That's what that came from. Passions. Regina Belle. Damn. And guess who else I got? Drum roll. Guess who else I got, y'all? Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson. Yeah, y'all. I got the single for Janet Jackson. Yeah, Miss You Much. Miss You Much, y'all. As a matter of fact, still got the doggone tag on it. Still got the little tag on it. Miss You Much, Miss Jackson. Let me see. Let me take it out. That's it. That's it, y'all. That Miss Janet Jackson right there. Miss Janet. I was able to, by that time, Janet had her career going, and I had a little money in my pocket. When Michael's one of my favorite singers, but like I say, when I got into Michael, we were young. We came out, I was born in the 70s. So coming up on his music, I was a kid. But I still gravitated towards his music, like, everybody else did. He was just phenomenal. Gravitated towards his music. 13, 14, gravitated towards. But by that time, Janet was making her debut and coming out. And everybody wanted to kind of look like her too, as females. Everybody wanted to wear their hair like Janet as well, just like they did Michael. Yeah. Yeah, the little curl, the big earrings. Then, Rhythm Nation. Yep. The original cassette, when it was first purchased back when, still got my name on it. Elisa Tatum. Still got my name on it. Yeah. Still got my name on it. Yep. Rhythm Nation, y'all. Do, 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 do. Do. She at concert right now. Janet is living her best life over the traveling, giving the people the best of her. Giving the people the best of her. And yesterday on the live, we got to talking about Boomerang. Y'all remember when we used to buy the soundtracks for movies? Yeah. I don't know. I think the cassette tape, I don't know what happened to it, but this is the casing with the cover. And I was talking about Boomerang on my other live yesterday. If y'all want to go back and listen to that, one of the my friends came on and he was in the chat, and we was going at it in the chat section. He chatting about Boomerang and how Marcus, how everybody hated her for doing what she did to Eddie Murphy. They said the men didn't like what she did to Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, and then of course the women didn't like what he did to Halle Berry. So yeah, we used to purchase the soundtrack on the cassettes. Yep, we did. Yeah. Mariah Carey, y'all. Mariah Carey. Visions of Love. That was it. Mariah Carey. First cassette bought from her. Mariah Carey. Yeah, y'all. Like I said, I got about close to 75 to 100 of them. Various ones, along with the ones that we recorded off of the radio. And then when they got the double deck cassette recorder where you can record from an original one. Yeah, folks was lending out, let me get that so I can record it. And then they recorded on the blank cassette tapes. And then that's when, bootleg was established. One of the earliest forms of bootleg. Recording it from the radio with your cassette player. And then when they had the double decker cassette where you can record and play at the same time. Yeah. I tried to, support as much as I could once I became an adult and understood a lot about what it means. But for the most part, a lot of them got their music out even quicker in some way or another, just because of some of the bootleg that went on. Not that it was right. The piracy is not right. It's not legal. It's against the law. But even, I think Tyler Perry said that, a lot of his stuff kind of got out quicker because of the bootleg. He managed to get through there. It went through the communities, and however it got through, it was all used to his advantage. But it's not something we want to do, and I just put that out there. No, piracy, you don't want to do that. You don't want to infringe on nobody's copyright. You just don't want to do that. They don't put their hard labor and work and money into it, and it's something that they produce themselves, and nobody has the right to do that, even though it is a part of the community of folks doing it once they gave them access to the way to do it. People gonna figure out a way, especially if they couldn't afford to purchase. So yeah, y'all, something old, and that's what I wanted to share. Something old, and topics that just pop up and say, oh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's discuss that. Let's put that in the section. Let's shoot the breeze about that. See if it's something that will resonate with people. Something old. And then, like I say, once again, speaking on supporting other people in business, entrepreneurs, professionals on my page. I have that as a segment. In my lives, just to shout somebody out for their business. And I let Sugar tell your business. You want me to tell it? Sugar can tell your business. It's good business. It's your professional business that you want people to know about. And in most cases, I can vouch for. If I know you personally, most of the time I've had an experience with just to say, oh yeah, they good for it. They could do that. What they're putting out is something that is the community can benefit off of. Support them in what they do. So yeah. So I figure who I have to speak on is a young lady that she's much younger, from my neighborhood. Grew up with her siblings, Bainbridge, Georgia. Yeah, grew up with her, and she's since gone on to become an author, speaker. You know, she wears many hats. Dynamic lady wears many hats in her community. And as an author, I decided I wanted to, support what it was that she was doing as far as her books that she writes. And she's a tell-all type person. And, I respect her for the fact that she's willing to tell whatever issues that she's had, whatever faults and blames that she's had, whatever mistakes that she's had, whatever stuff she's done in her life as a lesson for other people, and put it in a book. Try and help some folks not, do the same thing, make the same mistake. And she's pretty raw in her approach on making sure that you are well aware that what she did, she knew she was wrong and what it was she did, but even still, it is to help someone understand the consequences of it and what you may not want to do, because you've been there, done that, and got a t-shirt. Yeah, been there, done that. She got a t-shirt for it. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead on and purchase some of her words and read what she has to say. And the book that I'm presenting is by Dr. Shonda Love. By Dr. Shonda Love, y'all. Called A Guide to Winning the War Against Narcissists. Now, I wasn't familiar too much with the word narcissist. It's been one word that has been, running, becoming popular within the last 5 years or more, of narcissism. Knew the word, but just wasn't fully, aware of it. Never really knew anyone that displayed what in this book she's defined what narcissist and what a narcissist is, and how she, was able to overcome a narcissist in her own personal life. So she goes through it and lets you know. And I was like, I want to see what she has to say about that, because that word has been used around for everything. Narcissism has been used for. But I said, let me just read what she has to say. And I have to tell you, she really do let you know exactly. She gets personal. With what she's saying about narcissism and how she won. And I would say my last chapter 10, was my favorite because of that, how she was able to win the war on it. So if you get a chance, she's one of my friends, LaShonda Love, Dr. LaShonda Love. Now, I know it's looking backwards on here, but yeah, you can type her name in, LaShonda Love, on Facebook or any other platform. She's selling on Amazon and wherever else. It's a you probably can read it within 2-3 hours. Just sit down, even just take your time, just because you want to make sure that you are digesting what she's saying. But LaShonda Love, y'all, and she too, I grew up with her as a nickname. She may not want me to say it, but yeah, she has a nickname too that I grew up knowing her as. And then this is my first time, as we became friends on Facebook, knowing her actual name. But LaShonda, you made it on Sugar's bookshelf, girl. You made it on my bookshelf. And I must say, I really enjoy reading your book. I really enjoy reading your book and shouting you out for the hard work you're doing. She has so many books, y'all. She got many books telling lessons that could be learned from her mistakes. She does that. She does that. So I'll be shouting her out for the next couple of days, as my way of helping to support those who trying to make a difference in their communities and help others along the way. And you support them, put the word out there for the others that may want to understand a little bit more from somebody else's perspective. Yeah, LaShonda Love. Okay? Yes, indeed. And so, before I go, I like to make sure that I let people know, if you have enjoyed my content, and if you want to engage with me, and either way you want to engage, whether you just like you watching and listening, or you want to, drop a question in the comment section that we could talk about a topic in the comment section. I don't mind. We can talk. I can talk about it. You can respond. You can, put it in the comment section. If not, you just watch and say, okay, let me see what Sugar talk about. Let me see what Sugar talking about today. I appreciate that too. I do. Just seeing who stops by to show Sugar some love. Just to see who stops by. And if you feel inclined to support my page and what I'm creating as a content creator, shoot me some stars. I appreciate that too. They say a penny is equals to a star. Look, I like pennies. I like them. If the stars is the penny, you decide you want to shoot me a star, I take it. I'll be glad about it and much obliged. But I do enjoy coming on and interacting, and I certainly hope to be able to leave you with something, make you laugh, make you reflect on something, leave you with something that make you like go, okay, learn from something. If you learn from it, that's even better. But I certainly like to just shoot the breeze about stuff that I hold dear, topics, conversations, whatever fall in my spirit to talk about. Whatever falls in my spirit to talk about. Then I say, well, let me just talk. Let me just share it with the people, and whoever show up and sit a spell, then it's not falling on deaf ears. It's not falling on deaf ears. So, if you're inclined, shoot Sugar some stars. If you're inclined, do some likes or hearts. Or even if you don't like it, I don't care. Hearts, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, mouth drops open. And even if you're mad, hey, if something make you mad, because everything I talk about you may not agree with, and that's, for the most part, that's, that makes us human. We don't all have the same experiences, and we may not all agree on everything, but I think for the most part we can all agree on something, and I have something that people will relate to. So yeah. And just to show you who I came from, this is my grandmother. This is my grandmother, Rosie Mae Jordan. Rosie Mae World Tatum Jordan. This who? My daddy's mama. They had the 17. This is the seed that produced the seed that I came from. She got my daddy here, so I'm here because of that. And then My mom's mom, Carrie Sapp. That's my mom's mom. She produced the seed that carried the seed for me to be here. Yep. And I always say she didn't stop at 2 or 3, because if she did, I wouldn't be here. If she'd have stopped having them at 2 or 3, she had 10, 11, 1, I think, either stillbirth. I'm not gonna say what, but 10 of them I was raised with. But my mama, I think my mama was number 4 or 5. She's number 4 or 5 in that line. So yeah, if she'd have stopped shy of that, I would be here. Same thing with my dad and his mom. She had 17, 14, made it to it, but she'd have stopped shy of him getting here, I wouldn't be here. Sugar wouldn't be here shooting the breeze with y'all if them ladies had to stop producing. So I thank them. I thank them for getting my parents here. I thank them. And then I thank for my parents for getting me here. I thank them for getting me here. Because my daddy said sometimes if all you can do is thank them for getting you here, because some people may not have had the best experience, but they may have make the best of who got them here. If you all you can do is thank them for getting you here, then do that. Because they got you here. They got you here. So on that note, y'all, I'm going to go on out. And go on out with my theme song. Shuga Shootin' breeze, y'all. Shuga Shootin' breeze, y'all. Shuga Shootin' breeze, y'all. Shuga Shootin' breeze, y'all. Random when it hits me, I run with it. Random when it hits me, I run with it. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. All right, share it if you want to. That help me share it. Get the word out. Shuga Shootin' the breeze. Y'all go and watch Shuga Shootin' the breeze. Run on by there and see her. All right, love y'all, fam. Bye.